Hi, this is John with the Infosheets.com. I'm going to talk about our customer database network version. This is version 14N. It's available for immediate download from the Infosheets.com, and it's currently priced at $75. We also have the non-network version, which is $50. The network version does include the non-network version, so you get both in the network version. So if you're not sure which to get and you don't mind paying an additional $25, get the network version. The reason why you might choose a network version is because you can have multiple computers all updating a single back end or a single data point. And you can have lots of front ends all updating that back end. In addition, we have 3 different front end views. So you can have this one, which is for the managerial look. And we also have more of a sales entry look, and then we have a customer only entry look, and those are all included again in that one download. So it has all of that in it. So let me show you the quick view of what version 14 has, but I wanted you to actually watch that video to see use because it is a bit long and it shows you some particulars that are common to both of them. But mostly we're looking at customer information here along with sales down below, and those sales are for basically carpet cleaners, hairstylists, plumbers. We can have drop downs of our description, which are income sortable. So in this case, the hairstylist wanted to see a particular hairstylist, what they've done. We can also then have what we've done for that customer, and we can choose a drop down sorted by products. Let's see. All right. And we can change our quantity. We can add a discount. We can remove whether it was taxable or not. A lot of those functions. By clicking it, you can then choose to view, print, save, or email all of these different types of invoices or receipts. You also have reports that can have all of your income. All right. Those are actually going to be removed for our sales floor. The managerial has that view, but the salespeople do not. We also have, in addition to the non-network version, it doesn't have these particular views of our customer data, and this is basically designed so that we can find where duplicates are or to append data to get it all figured out, or even if we wanted to delete some out. So you can edit in this view as well. And that's particular to the network version. It isn't in the non-network version. In the backup, one of the things we want to do is make sure that we have basically all of our accesses to our data closed. So we want to close our customer view, and we want to make sure the other databases are also closed before we hit the backup button. And it's going to actually make a fully independent backup of our back end. And remember that back end is the same as version 14. It's an independent program, so it could be open individually. You create a backup, give it to somebody, let them update it, bring it back, and you can actually connect to it if you want to. But that actually is given a time date stamp as well. All right. So a lot of power in that. Let's take a look at the different views that we have that I alluded to. This was the managerial view. This would be for a sales floor entry view. They don't have the ability to look at the income of the company. And then this is the view for a customer entry that might be facing the customer. And this was actually created for a company that wanted to, basically they were a computer repair shop and they wanted the customer to enter information directly. All right, so they don't have the ability to browse through all of your customers. All right. All right, so let's go into our documents and see where it's, when it's first installed, there's a folder called Infosheets. Actually, let me close that. And this one. All right, so when it's first installed, we get 4 files. These 3 are front ends, full, minimum, and partial. And I just showed you those. And then this is the back end. And we can open that individually. That is actually version 14. So it's the same. And if we make this target open just this, we will have version 14. But right now it's opening the front end full. If we make it open minimum, it's going to open minimum, and that's just by changing the name from full to minimum or whatever these names are, and you will get the different views. When it's originally installs, it only installs one icon, so if you want more than one opening on the same computer, just copy it and change its target. When it's first installed, it creates a full, it comes down as a zipped drive, and that's actually through immediate download through both email and actually by link. So it gives you both options when you purchase it. Right click on that and hit extract all, and you get an open folder. I'm actually going to go through the setup, and right now it's just going to give me the ability to remove it so that I can reinstall just for you. I'm going to accept the EULA. I'm going to click typical and hit install. Let it do its thing. I'm going to finish. Alright, so it created an icon for me. Now I'm going to have to attach the back end because it's just installed. Once you've connected, it won't need to be reconnected unless you move the back end. Okay. All right. I believe we'll also have to reconnect our second one because it's now freshly installed. And what I'm going to do, oops, I should remember what the name of the back end is. That's back end up there. All right, so now we have two views of the same data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one data and hit save. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate and navigate back, and we can see that it's now updated. So basically two operators are on different computers, and we can see how that data is updated. Obviously it can't update the one that's already open because you're getting a static view of it, but every time you navigate you'll be able to see what's reflected on someone else's updated. If we were to both update at the same time while we're on the same screen, and we save this one, and then we try and save this one, it's going to give us a warning that there's a write conflict. It knows that there's a more recent copy since this one was loaded that's been updated. So basically we're going to hit drop changes, and it's going to refresh the screen. And now if we change it, it'll save. Okay? So if you get that conflict, simply drop your changes, remember what they were, and then hit save. So that's one of those rare cases where two people are updating the same record at the same time. There's one other thing that can happen, and that is when you're adding a new record and it's saved. And now you notice that as customer number 19. Now we only are going up to customer number 3 when we go all the way to the end. So we want to be able to find that one, so we have a requery button. Alright, so that's essentially it. Just if someone added a new record that you need to access since you've opened it, you simply hit requery. Also, if you added a new record, and then you navigate over, you'll see it as well. So it is current at the time that it's opened, but if it does change while it's open and you want to see a record that is just created, you can hit the requery. And that doesn't matter how many computers are all running. Obviously, if everybody is updating the same records at the same moment, but usually what's happening is different people are working on different records, different people are adding new, and let me also show you that that works fine too. If we added a new one here, and you see that is record 21, and then we hit add a record here, you see that it went to record 22. So there's no write conflict in adding a record. It's just when you're trying to view the same record. All right? So multiple instances all running, all updating the same back end. And it's a complete program that's available for your download. It's from the Infosheets.com. I advise you to watch version 14 as well. But the fact that you have both the front end and the back end in this, and the back end is the same as version 14, it's slightly more, but if you want, this has a bit more power and it might be more useful to your company. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is John Hilbrands with Infosheets.com.